This is going up on Christmas Day because I can't really justify two in the same day. But this is also being recorded on Christmas Eve, about 5 hours after the previous one. I don't know, after talking for like 20 minutes about how alone I feel, I just sort of spiraled for a bit. I've just been thinking about how alone I actually am, and how alone I have been, not just during the holiday sequence, but well, throughout the year for the past almost, about 7, it'll be 8 years next year, since I sort of stopped education and just started rotting at home because there's nothing else I can do, and I'm basically disabled. I am disabled. I am legally disabled. I don't know why I'm saying that as if I'm sort of trying to justify it. Maybe I am trying to justify it. I am ashamed of it. So I don't know. But I just got thinking about how I don't know what the word would be. How lonely I am compared to how great earlier times in my life were. And a little while ago on this channel I discussed my one and only long-term relationship that I had when I was 15 and went through just until after I was 16. And I feel like shit because I still think about that almost daily. It's not because of how much I missed her. I think there is an element of that to it, but I know that looking back on it, we were both, we were similar, but we both had so many unaddressed issues that we had to resolve those before we could properly prosper. And obviously being kids, you don't really think about that. You think you know the world. Obviously, looking back on it, we didn't. But it's just how it is when you're a kid. But I think for me, it was... I loved her. I did. And I think it's less about how she made... Well, like, how much I felt about her. And it's just how... It's so hard to explain. It wasn't like a... Oh, I felt great about her and I really liked her, so I miss her. Like, I miss the way she made me feel. I referenced sort of... I can't even remember what I was going to say. My mind is so frazzled. But I sort of talked about how you can't really love someone until you love yourself. And to an extent, I think there is some truth to that, but for the most part, I don't think that's entirely true. My self-worth for me, well, I find things, I think because of my ASD, or because of a multitude of things, including the ASD, I obviously, for those of you that have it, will probably know that you don't really like being uncertain or unclear about things. And sort of any ambiguity in any situation can just stress you out, can just make you sad, anxious, and it's just not fun to deal with. And so when it is obvious to you, when something is spelled out clearly to you, or when someone really shows how they feel, it's a feeling that no drug on planet Earth could ever replicate. And I think all these years later, like I say, I don't think of her as it was, because I can recall plenty of bad experiences to sort of, well, there were just as many bad as there were good. But I can't help but think about the good. Like, I'll always remember the times where I'd go around hers, and if I'd have a headache or something because I was anxious or stressed, I'd just lay my head in her lap while she played some Grand Theft Auto or something, and I'd just rest my eyes. I'd never fall asleep because, well, I'd be missing out on crucial quality time. But it was like the comfiest pillow I've ever laid on. It's just the warmth, not just literally but figuratively. This was someone that was like, you know what, he needs a moment, I'll just let him rest. And she was happy to do that, and Christ, I've been chasing that high for 8 years, and I feel so embarrassed talking about it out loud, because I just, whenever I think about it, I just think, come on man, you were a kid. Like, get over yourself, you're a fully grown adult now. In 5 months you're going to be closer to 30 than you are 20. And you're still pining for a feeling you had when you were 16. I feel so dumb and worthless whenever I think about that. But I can't help thinking about it. I just want that warmth. Again, I would do anything on God's green earth to feel that warmth one more time. Like, the chances of me ever experiencing that again, due to God knows how many issues, are so slim. But it's all I ever want. I just want that safety. I just want to know that I am enough. Like, people can tell me that I'm enough. You know, over the years I've had friends, I've had strangers on the internet, I've had therapists, medical professionals tell me that, you know what, you are enough. But it comes back to that age-old phrase of actions speak louder than words, and I can't sort of believe it when I'm told it, because I can't sort of be shown that. And it's not like I can just go up to my 50-year-old male therapist and go, can I just rest my head in your lap for an hour or so? I just want that warmth. And I think that's where the jealousy of my friend and his new partner come in. Like, me and him were playing some Grand Theft Auto the other night while she was there. And the way he talked to her, it was like a way I've never heard him speak. It's like he felt safe. And I'm not jealous of the fact that he's got a partner and whatnot. I'm jealous of the fact that he can feel secure in that. That kills me inside. That he is currently experiencing what me and what I imagine a lot of other people just dream of and will probably never get to see again. Part of me wishes I never even had that relationship when I was younger. Because yeah, I would be like a 24-year-old now who has never experienced that, and that would suck. But I think knowing what it's like and not being able to attain that is so much worse. I go to bed every night, or at least I try to, and all I do is I just sit there. I love the cold side of my pillow, but I never use it because the warm side is warm. And it's like I'm sort of trying to replicate that feeling. But at the end of the day, every time I wake up, it's just a pillow. It's the same pillow I hold day in, day out. There's nothing new about it. It doesn't have any attachment. It doesn't appreciate me for me. It is just a soft, inanimate object that keeps my neck raised so I don't have massive cramps when I wake up. And I pine for that every night because it's the closest I think I'm ever going to get to that feeling of warmth again. I feel so embarrassed even talking about this out loud. Like I've never said this to anyone because I just think they're not going to take you seriously if you go in there as a 24-year-old man and go, oh, I'm pining over a relationship I had when I was 16. And so the only sort of place I can say this is to strangers on the internet on a channel that I hope never gets too popular to the point where people that I know watch it and go, hey, you're a fucking loser, mate. But I've got no one else. And I know barely anybody clicks on these, but it's better than just recording them and deleting them. This way I am putting them out there. It's like I am talking to someone. Even if it is just about random crap. I just want to feel safe and warm and appreciated all at the same time again. But I know that I'm never going to get that. And the closest thing I have to a sort of... the closest thing I have to that is my friends. I mean, I know they're not going to let me rest my head in their lap, but... I just... Well, I mean, I can talk to them, I just don't like burdening them with things. And, well, even they're moving on. Like, do you ever get that feeling where you are like, you have that person that you talk to, or like those people that you talk to, your friends, you know, just get on the game or something, and then you spend a few hours just shooting the shit. Well, they obviously all have their own friends and lives. I bet I'm not even their favourite person or anything. But they are my favourite people. And to know that that feeling probably isn't reciprocated is one of the most isolating feelings I can even imagine. Like, I wouldn't wish this feeling of solitude on my worst enemy. I hate it. I wake up every day and I feel more alone every day that passes. Like, the best years of my life are slipping through my fingers, and there's nothing I can do about it. Well, not currently anyway. No matter what I try, it just never seems to stick. And I know a lot of it's my fault for wanting to rot in my room. But that's all I've got. I've got nothing else. I've got nothing that's worth getting out of bed for. Limerence is one of the most damaging things that any human can experience, because it pushes you to do things you really don't want to do, that you think are beneath you because it just feels wrong. But it's what you feel like you have to do to survive, and it's also simultaneously the greatest feeling in the world. It's like meth. Like, you know it's bad for you, but it feels so good. Like, every time I'm sort of pushed into that state, I find things magically fix themselves. You know, I start taking care of myself a bit more. My sleep schedule automatically fixes itself. It's like I want to be awake when they are. And yet I know that it will probably never go anywhere. And with that, I'll just be left alone again. Like, limerence I think it might be a bit of an unpopular opinion. Maybe I don't understand it as much. But limerence is fucking great when you're still talking with the person. And, like, it's clear that they like you back, and that you can bounce off each other, you know, you can be with them, and it's clear that there's something there. But then it takes you so low once that ends. Like, man, like I say, I'm pining over a relationship that finished 8 years ago. She probably doesn't even remember me. I'm just a footnote in her history. But that feeling she gave me was everything I've ever wanted. Like, materialistic things are great, but that was true happiness for me. It was great going round her place and seeing her, because she filled me with a warmth that I could never get from any other source. It's not like I can just pop down to the local shops and just buy, can I get one hit of existential warmth? I don't fucking know. But it just... I don't know. It just sucks. Especially in today's world, where meeting people is so hard, and every time you do meet people, you're not their exact fit. So you just sort of get tossed to the side, and especially for someone like me who doesn't drive, I can't work. Like, it is quite literally like the only thing I want. The world knows it's impossible to attain, and so that just sends you on a downward spiral. I think that is probably the best I've explained it in my entire life, and it still sounds like a garbled mess of words. Everything just feels so empty. I can't explain. You'll only know what it's like if you know what it's like. Like, if you've never experienced this sort of feeling of solitude before, then you're just gonna think this is the ramblings of a madman, which I suppose it is, but it's just, this is all I want. I just want to feel safe, warm and happy. That's where I derive my happiness from. I think for me, it's just knowing that's what I wanted and then I lost it. I had the happiness that I'd always wanted. And now it's gone. It's like I can taste it. It's so close, yet so far. And that is the worst feeling imaginable. Especially when you see those around you feeling the exact same thing. Like my friends, my family. They're all finding new people, moving on, and realising that they can also be happy. Which is great. It just sucks that their happiness is also the exact same thing that I want, but can probably never have again. And that just sucks. Like, it just feels so demoralizing. And I don't think I'll ever get over that. In a way, I kind of hope she knows that, you know, like, well, we were both a little bit toxic to each other at points. And like I say, it got to a point where even if we could have kept seeing each other, I don't think we would have much longer. So I'm glad it ended amicably before it got messy. And I know she's had partners since me. But I just hope she knows how important she was to me. How warm she made me feel inside. And if I wish I could just message her and tell her that without sounding incredibly weird. But I don't think I can do that. And so I have to sort of just hope that through the cosmos she hears it. But I don't know. As I say, hopefully she knows. But yeah, I suppose that's all I really want to talk about. I'm just gonna go wallow with myself a bit more. It's strangely comforting. I mean, yeah. I suppose that's it from me, I suppose. Twice, yeah, nice one. Hope you're having great holidays, I suppose. Has to be better than what the fuck I'm dwelling on anyway. But yeah, I guess the message of this is if you have those people in your life, please, Jesus Christ, do not take it for granted. Because I think even though I knew in that moment that it was something important that had to be cherished, I don't think I ever really understood the gravity of how that would affect me for years to come. And so if you have those people, if you're listening right now and you have a partner or a parent or a friend that you really care about and makes you feel the happiest you've ever felt, just tell them, man, please. If not for you, then for me. Because if you have that feeling of happiness, the last thing you're going to want to do is waste it and then realise 8 years down the line, fuck me, I should have cherished this more. Like, I've got this awful feeling that I'm going to be in, like, my 60s, if I manage to survive that long. And I'm still going to be thinking about it. I'm still going to be thinking about how warm that feeling of security was. I'd give anything for 1 hour just to go back and feel that warmth. And actually cherish it for what it was. But yeah, I guess that actually is all from me now. Yeah, happy holidays if you celebrate them. I hope you have a good day if you don't. Just cherish what you have. You never know when it's going to be over. Bye bye.